Hello everyone, welcome to the lab. Test equipment repair time again. This is Fluke 196C scopemeter, which is a portable and battery powered and isolated oscilloscope and multimeter. This model has a color LCD, which is very good. They look much nicer, and also the black and white models are known to have LCD fail by developing horizontal lines all over the screen. And as I understand, color LCD models don't suffer from that problem. I picked this up on eBay for about $200, which is quite cheap for these instruments, but it has a problem. Channel A is not working at all, and it was also sold with no accessories at all. No power supply, no probes, just this unit. It is in a good physical condition. Let's have a brief look. Calibration void sticker, which is very good. Hopefully no repair attempts. So let's see if we can fix this thing. It has a working battery. Now it is running on the battery. We can see the symbol here. And by the way, the screen flicker is on camera only. The screen looks very nice, no problem at all. And the power supply is not a problem either. I have connectors which fit, and it's not a problem to find a suitable power supply. Anything from 14 to 18 volts and a couple of amps should work just fine. And the only thing to remember is center negative connector here. And let's plug it in here so the symbol changes. And I connected a couple of probes. And as you can see, channel B works just fine, and I did some basic checking. Everything looks fine. But as soon as I turn on channel A, everything freezes, including channel B. But I noticed when I switch coupling here from DC to AC, it starts reading something for a brief moment. The reading does not make sense, but something happens for a brief moment and then freezes again. I'm not sure if this will help us to understand what's going on here. Just a few screws to take the cover off. Very easy so far. I disconnected the battery. Seems like the original Fluke battery. And I removed this shield from channel A, which seems to work as a heatsink as well for that chip. All shields are removed. Let's have a look. This is the main digital section. Two big Fluke branded ASICs here. These are probably ADCs. Some Xilinx chip here. This is the power supply with another ASIC controlling it. Battery connector here. This must be an isolated infrared serial interface. Some memory module here. This looks like a high voltage converter for the backlight CFL bulb. This is an isolation gap between the analog front ends and the digital section, with some transformers across that isolation gap. This is a multimeter channel, and this is channel A and channel B. And I removed the thermal pads from these chips to have a look, and I see that this chip apparently was replaced at some point, because I see flux residue around it. I see soldering iron marks on this relay and on the corner of this transformer. And also this chip is branded NXP. And this chip in the channel A looks original, and it is branded Philips. So apparently someone repaired channel B at some point. And I hope this chip in the channel A is alive. It might be difficult to find, if possible at all. This is the other side of the board. And this thing even has a small fan. So some more logic on this side, some memory, and some more communication across the isolation gap. Here is the service manual for models 192B, 196B and C, and 199B and C. And this is the schematic for channel A, the whole isolated front end. And here is the isolation. This transformer is for high frequency signal, this opto-isolator for low frequency signal, this opto-isolator for control signals from ASIC, and this transformer is isolated power supply with 3 rails. This rail is marked here 5.2 volts, this rail is positive 3.45 volts, and this one is negative 3.45 volts. And this is the input, which goes into this low frequency path and the high frequency path. Here are some capacitive dividers, and apparently this high frequency path is also split into 4 different bands, and this separate line is marked HF, DC, FB. Must be DC feedback or something. This part is for calibration, and the low frequency path has AC to DC switch, this relay contact here and this here, and this is the relay coil, which is controlled directly from this C ASIC, which in turn is controlled by S ASIC through this opto-isolated interface, clock and data lines. And apparently this control path must be working, because when I switch from AC to DC, I can hear relay is clicking and something is changing. So at least partially this C ASIC must be working, but now we need to start checking around here, check power rails and check various signals at some test points and such, and hopefully we can see what's wrong here. This service manual is so great, thank you very much, Fluke. There is an extensive troubleshooting section here, and in particular there is a section here about checking channels A and B. They propose to use 200 kHz signal for high frequency path checking, and it should be with a peak-to-peak value of 8 divisions. For example, if we have 1 volt per division, then we should apply 8 volts peak-to-peak sine wave, and then check for particular amplitude at particular test point. And for low frequency path we should use 200 Hz and also check at particular points, and on and on and on. So hopefully this should be enough to understand what's wrong. So let's check the power rails just in case. We need to use this local ground in the isolated section, and we can check on these 3 inductors. Checking on the first one, 5.2. Great. Next one, minus 3.6. A bit higher than specified 3.45, but I guess it's okay. And the next one, 3.6. Looks great. And again, the relay is clicking and something is happening for a brief moment, so the digital control seems to be working. So first I suggest checking in the main digital section the output from the S ASIC to the channel A analog to digital converter pin 5, and I checked this and there is absolutely nothing, so we need to check the output from the channel ASIC, and that can be done for high frequency path at the test points M1021 and 1022. And for low frequency path, test point is M1027. And here they are, 1021 and 1022, and they go to the high frequency isolation transformer. And 1027 is here, and that goes to this low frequency opto-isolated path. And here is the PCB layout, and all test points are on the top side of the PCB and clearly marked here. This one is M1021, and this is 22, and this one is 27. How cool is that? Thank you very much, Fluke. And of course I checked some basics here, that the signal reaches the input and there is nothing wrong with these passives here and here. So the scope meter is set to 1 volt per division. Probe is 1-to-1 because it is a coax cable to the function generator in my Keysight oscilloscope that is configured to put out 200 kHz, 8 volts peak to peak, and the output load is set to high Z because there is no 50 ohm termination in the scope meter. And we are supposed to see 300 millivolts peak to peak on 3 volt DC level. I checked the DC level, it is there, so I switched to AC coupling here so we can zoom in, and here it is, test point, and there is absolutely nothing. And the other one, the same thing. And now 200 Hz on the generator to test the low frequency output, and nothing at all on this test point as well. I probed around a little more, in particular around the calibration circuit, checking things as suggested in the service manual, and I'm almost convinced that this ASIC is faulty. So unfortunately, I believe this thing is not repairable at the moment. I will look for another broken unit for a reasonable price. It can be different model, 192 or 199. And if I can get myself a donor unit, eventually I probably will fix this one. But for now, I got myself a great and reasonably priced one-channel scope meter. Or if you know where to get these ASICs, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Bye.